In today's episode of Horror Movie Talk, we'll be reviewing 30 Days of Night, a patron pick for the month of August. If you want to choose a movie for us to review, head on over to patreon.com/horrormovietalk and sign up for the appropriate tier. But first, this episode of Horror Movie Talk is brought to you by Travel.net. Here at Travel, we believe the best way to ease your pains of life is to spend what little money you have on a vacation. After all, human beings are biologically designed to work at a desk job for 50 weeks out of the year and sightsee for the remaining 2. And what better sight to see than the beautiful state of Alaska? In Alaska, you'll experience 30 whole days of no sunlight and some incredible fishing.
Is this a metal thing?
Yes.
Little taste.
David, what is this?
It's pretty thick.
Great.
I have to kill a lot of people. Just tell me what you want me to fuck.
I have big tits and a tiny vagina.
Oil me up, Daddy.
I can't believe that Bryce prefers big tits. Mistletoe alert. This is backcountry.
This guy was a real jerk.
How long can Hugo be pregnant?
Chomp, 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 chomp.
Oh, she's such a dick, David.
Okay, everybody, put on your corpse handling gloves.
Ew.
Hoodie Picasso.
Horror.
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk, an opinionated and accidentally funny horror movie review show. I'm Max Allen, the creepiest dad on the internet, and with me is the Dr. Bryce Hansen, who holds a PhD in spokology, and Sydney Lee, the queen of horror scene. We review a different horror movie each week. New theatrical releases always get priority, and we also review older horror movies, both good and horrible. Horrible. Ugh. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. The full video will be available on YouTube. Don't be a square. Make sure to share. Also, check out patreon.com/horrormovietalk, the equivalent of the adult section at your video rental store. If you want to whip out your wiener and pee directly into the community pool, go to horrormovietalk.com or call 682-253-4468 and leave us a voicemail. We've got a great show for you today, guys. We will be reviewing 30 Days of Night. 30 days of sleepy, eepy nighttime. This is a patron pick, as we mentioned before. For the month of August, you'll notice this month is not August. We're a little late on this one, but we're getting it to you now, and better late than never.
Yep.
I always say.
Yep.
What do you have to say about that, Bryce?
I'm looking up Ethernet cables on Amazon right now. How far away is your router from your computer?
Well, if
Max?
you'll remember, my house is very tiny. So
Very
it's
small.
in the living room,
Okay.
about 10, 15, 20 feet that way. I don't know distances.
Okay. So a 100-foot cable would do it.
Oh, yeah, it'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you missed the HMT lore, I almost lost a whole episode that we just recorded that was 2 hours long. So, Bryce
Max was disassociating for the last 30 minutes as we're uploading and making sure that we didn't lose 2 hours of an episode, because it was a really good episode.
It was a good episode.
You've probably already listened to it. Anyways.
I feel a lot better now that we didn't lose that episode. And I'll feel even better if you guys stop telling us how much you hated the Alien Romulus episode. We get it. We tried our best.
We suck.
Sydney goofed up. It's okay.
Sorry. I'm a little dumb sometimes.
I'm also a little dumb sometimes. We'll start out by giving a brief review and our score for the movie. We score on a scale of 1 to 10. After we give our score, we'll get into spoilers and take a deeper dive into what we liked and hated about the film. Later on, we will be playing Name That Vampire.
I love this, Max. I love that every week you do an episode. You're like, let's just do Name That. I
the
honestly
best.
enjoy it. It's really fun.
Yes, so we've done Name That Ghoul. We've done... What was the other one we did?
Name that ghost?
Ghost?
No, Name That Ghost was Name That Ghoul.
Name That Alien.
Name that alien is what we did. So now let's name that vampire. A little game where I show Sydney and Bryce a picture of a vampire from a movie, and they have to tell me what movie or TV show it's from. So we'll see their vampire knowledge.
I'm going to be so good at it. I'm going to be so good. I'm speaking that into existence. I love vampires. I love them. Seen it all.
Well, speaking of vampires, 30 Days of Night is a vampire movie. I didn't realize that until deeply into this movie. 30 Days of Night can be found on Peacock or wherever you rent your movies.
Josh
30 Days of Night is a movie about Eben, a name I've never heard before, and Stella, a married couple in Alaska going through separation and a possible divorce. I was a little confused on if they were divorced yet or not, but at least separated.
It doesn't matter.
No, they're still married.
right.
But yeah, separated.
Eben, the sheriff, is preparing his small town for the 30 Days of Night where the sun doesn't rise for a full month. Explain that, flat earthers. When trying to leave Alaska.
Well, let me show you my diagram. Like, as you can see, the sun only casts a shadow for this much of the earth.
Yeah.
And then there's a track where it goes on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you.
But you go ahead and keep believing what NASA tells you,
Okay. I mean, I don't think we went to the moon, but at least I know the shape of the earth. When trying to leave Alaska before the impending darkness, Stella misses her flight, trapping her in the town. Although the 30 Days of Darkness is typically a challenge, Eben is wholly unprepared to deal with the invasion of deadly monsters that lie in wait. As darkness descends, the creatures wreak havoc, some might even say ravish, the town, and in the end, everyone gets more dark than they bargained for. My review is, this movie reminds me of Midnight Mass with its secluded small town and monsters to terrorize it, and I love Midnight Mass. Mm-hmm. But 30 Days of Night is a much more straight-ahead story. There's no bigger picture or message being told. It's just vampires, blood, and guts. I appreciated the family and character dynamics introduced in the first act, but honestly, by Act 2, when people started dying, I didn't really care who they were or how they were important to the story. It's vampire time, baby! The tension between Eben and his estranged wife Stella doesn't really translate well, and they seem to have no tension between them at all once the danger presents itself. I respect the vampire lore in this movie a lot more than I do of movies that turn vampires into sexy, mystical creatures. Which at least for me takes the fear out of the creature design. Here the vampires are fast, strong, and animalistic with shark-like razor teeth. Much more interesting if you ask me. I give this movie a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, these vampires don't fuck. And that's disappointing to me.
It
personally.
is. It's sad.
I like, I like my vampires with some riz.
I mean, vampires are supposed to be horny. Like, you're really gonna suck someone's neck,
Right.
and not be horny about it.
The
Yeah, I
vampires
mean, when
do
it
not
gets-
mog in this.
No.
Yeah, I'm not mogging this, whatever that means.
I'm not mocking this.
Yeah, I think when it portrays them as just straight up monsters, where it's like, oh, there's monsters. Like, there's no difference between the vampires in this movie and then or a pack of werewolves or a, fill-in generic monster. I mean, it literally feels more like a zombie movie than a vampire movie. It's like a horde of zombies, coming into the town. It would be just as devastating as this group of vampires. It feels like they saw 28 days later and they're like, oh yeah, let's just do that with the vampires. But that being said, it's an effective movie for a monster movie. It wastes no time to get into the vampires attacking. But yeah, it didn't really capture my, imagination or attention too strongly. I wasn't bored with it, but I wasn't super engaged with it either. I didn't really care about the backstory and relationship stuff because it didn't seem that important. And it was like, by the end of it, I'm like only had a vague idea of, I think the woman left because she couldn't have a baby or didn't want kids and he did or something like that. And then that was just left at that, which just feels like a really weird way to have like a separation where you're not even talking to each other. I don't know. But other than that, it's like a straight ahead monster movie where it's a group of people and they get picked off one by one. The end.
True.
What did you think, Sydney?
What's your score?
What's your score?
Oh, score. Yeah, I'd give it a 6 as well. It's pretty good. I think I got oversold on it too. Like I've heard a lot of people say like 30 Days of Night is like one of the best vampire movies. It's like underappreciated. It's fantastic. And so I was expecting something really great. And it was like, okay, it's good. It's quality, but it's not. No, I guess I'd give it a 7. It's worthy of a 7.
Yeah.
It's better than average, definitely.
My dad really loved this movie and he had us watch it, I think when I was in high school, and I definitely was more scared of it that time than rewatching it, but I hadn't seen it in a while and I forgot honestly most of the major plot points. Besides, I thought Alexander Skarsgård was in this. I texted you guys that. No one corrected me.
I was wondering about that. I was like, that seems like a real coincidence. So we're seeing a bunch of Alexander Skarsgård. He must have been like 12 at the time of this film.
Like, no, he wasn't. But like, yeah, I totally forgot. I guess maybe I thought the stranger was him. Kind of looked like him a little bit if he was like grosser. But Josh Hartnett's in it. My baby. He is at his sexiest. Yeah, this is peak Josh. But yeah, I really loved it when I first saw it, and I was like so excited to watch it again. And you know, the effect didn't wear off on me. I still really love it. I think it's too long. 2 hours is a long time. When we got towards the end, I was checking the time a lot, just because there's, it's just too long. But I think it's great. I think it's really fun. I think that sexless vampires means it's just another monster movie, which is interesting. I do like my sexy vampires, but it makes it scarier if they're not sexy.
Only thing you care about, Sydney?
Yes, it's the only thing I ever think about, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
just making sure.
I have mental illness, but I really like it. I like the interpersonal stuff. I guess it is kind of unclear what's going on in the marriage, but I guess it doesn't really matter. It's just, I like the way people are getting fucking snatched and killed, and there's it's very twisty-turny. It is
kind of twisty-turny.
But yeah, I love this movie. So I think but my complaints are it's too long. Vampires are kind of goofy. The language is goofy. It's a little goofy to me. It's not very scary. It's a little goofy. And the main vampire that actor was in Succession. And so I just like kind of see him as that guy. But I'm giving this a 9. I fucking love this movie. I really do.
Who was he in Succession?
Who's he in Succession?
What is his name?
Are you sure? Are you again mistaking an actor?
I'm not. His name is
Sydney's
Danny
just making
Huston.
a lot of mistakes.
He was
Greg.
He was Jamie Laird.
Jamie Laird. Oh, okay. So just like one of the corporate.
Yeah, just
people.
one of the other guys. But he was also in Birth, which is a Jonathan Glazer film with Nicole Kidman. That is excellent.
Is it? I haven't seen it.
It's really good.
I'm a big Nicole Kidman fan. I can't even say her name.
She's one of my favorites.
It was Figment Kid man. Yeah, The Stranger is Ben Foster. He's a great actor too.
Yeah.
He was in Hell or High Water. He was like the best part of that movie. Anyways. Yeah. So what was your score?
9.
9? Okay.
Yeah. A nice little spread there. All
I
above
was trying to
average,
look
though,
up how old Alexander Skarsgård would be for this movie.
And he's like the same age as Josh
He's not-
Hartnett.
So this is him in 2008. So, I mean, he could have been.
a man.
He is a man.
He's so fucking hot.
Is he? I think he's got a weird looking face.
Oh my god. He was also in Succession.
Alrighty.
think he's
Okay.
so sexy.
Alrighty. If you're listening to these commercials, you should know that you do not have to. Head on over to patreon.com/horror movie talk and sign up for the appropriate tier. You can get ad-free content. You can get early access content. You can vote for movies, and maybe eventually we'll review them. I'm just kidding. We'll always review them, just maybe a little late. And you're gonna get a hat. Go to horrormovietalk.com/shop. You can get a hat. You can get a t-shirt. You can get a hoodie. You can get stickers. You can get buttons. Buy the buttons, guys. Buy the buttons. Come on. Buy the buttons. Is Bryce frozen? He's freaking me out.
Yeah, I think
I'm
he's
not frozen. Oh, I am frozen.
Just the way you were staring at me, not moving, it's giving me anxiety.
Oh, hold on. I think it's my OBS.
What's going on today? What's happening?
Oh, jeez. OBS, why you do this? Should we break it and then come back? I need to restart my OBS or something.
Sure.
Okay. And we're back. Are we back?
Wait, now we're back.
And we're back.
Sorry, everybody. That time it was Bryce's fault. I just ate a Taki, so my mouth is really hot, and I'm going to try and finish this ad without salivating all over my mic. Okay. Check out our resident artist, Dustin Goebel, a professional artist who fucks hard. He also takes commissions from HMT fans. Contact him at DGOEBL00 on Instagram and make your autistic dreams come true. Tell him HMT sent you. Again, that number to call for a voicemail is 682-253-4468. Thanks again for listening. Let's get into the spoilers. Where'd Bryce go? Oh, he scared me. All right, so this movie starts out with the town preparing for the 30 Days of Night. This is their last day of sun, and so they're trying to round up all the supplies.
Fun fact, they actually have 67 days of no sun there.
Really?
So they're liars.
Yeah. Well,
I want to
feel
move
like
there so bad.
67 Days of Night is not a good movie title. So you want to move there?
I do.
I looked up pictures of it, like the real town, and they renamed it something, but it's like eerily just like there. Like it's just like here's some houses
Yeah, Barrow,
and
Alaska.
the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems fun, you know? It's like nighttime all the time. It's always a party. Do you have to work if it's nighttime?
A party? Doesn't look like there's
Do you think they make you go to work during those 67 days?
Yeah, there was a diner and an oil probably fracking. You gotta go frack.
Yeah, I'm gonna frack. I'm a huge fracker, big frack guy.
Big fracker.
One thing that they mention is that they don't sell alcohol during the 30 Days of Night because people have hard enough time as it is without making alcohol worse. So that's kind of just a fun. I wonder if they really do that. But so they're preparing, they're gathering their oil, big oil town, big frack town, and somebody is sabotaging their communication and their transportation. So, like for instance, the sled dogs, is that what they're called? The sled dogs are all killed
Yeah, and they're like,
mysteriously.
They're
the
eating
fuck?
the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the
They're
people that
eating
live there.
the pets of the people that live there.
They're eating the dogs.
Yeah, so they eat the dogs. And then something happens at the airport. Like the plane gets taken apart and thrown in like a trash compactor. Was that what they were saying?
No, she couldn't get to the airport because she got hit.
Well,
and then she got
she can't get to the airport, but there's a pilot who says that his plane
helicopter.
Yeah, his
helicopter
was destroyed.
Okay, so the
They
helicopter
just ripped
is
it apart.
destroyed. Sure. But yeah, Eben's wife Stella
Why
is
am I
trying to
fucking
get out
frozen?
of there.
Oh, Jesus.
What the fuck? My camera's not working.
I hate it.
Why?
I hate it so much.
It just stopped. It won't let me switch to my my webcam. It just says OBS. What the fuck?
We'll restart OBS then. That's what I did. I just had to restart OBS.
Hold on.
Is this because yesterday was Friday the 13th?
I think so. Ah, okay.
There we go. Okay. I'll place a marker in it. It'll be fine. It's all
Okay.
good.
Poor Max.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's not. There's no way to get off of the Alaska. Is Alaska big?
It's huge. Is that a question? Max.
I'll answer that question with a question. How good do you think I am at GeoGuessr?
I feel like you're good.
I'm going to say terrible.
I'm extremely terrible.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the GeoGuessr guy? Like the famous one?
Yeah. That
Oh
guy's
my God.
Insane.
He's so
dude.
sexy. Like, he's so sexy for that. Like, I think that's really hot that he does that. Like, it's so, I don't know what it is.
So just for the
niche.
contestants on HMT Bachelorette, geography.
Get better at
Huge turn on.
GeoGuessr.
No, I just like when men, like, do things well. Like, that's, you know, sometimes they don't. And when they do, it's hot. Whatever. I'm just really horny all the time. Ah, that's me. Ah,
Yeah.
I'm so horny. Ah.
That's true.
It's definitely wet. I haven't had sex in a while. It's sad.
A while.
It's been a
3
while.
days.
It's been
It's been like 2.5 weeks or a week and a half.
gosh. Yeah, I think I got you beat. Moving on.
Okay.
Moving on. So yeah, Stella's driving to the airport and she, like a tractor, just rams into her and totals her car, so she
Which
can't
is
make
so
her flights.
crazy that he's just like, I'm sorry. Are you good?
Oopsie doopsie.
It's also not just like a regular tractor. It's like got knives, just
like a
chopping.
chainsaw.
It has chainsaws. It's crazy. So somehow she survives that, and then she's stuck there because she misses her flight. So this is when we meet the kind of what would you call him? A poor wayfaring man?
Who are you talking about?
The main character? Oh, or the stranger guy?
The stranger, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just called the Stranger. That's
just-
his name.
Creepy guy. I just call him creepy guy.
Guy who wants raw hamburg.
He he orders raw hamburg at the and alcohol, and they're like, we don't have either of those. Please leave. And then he gets really mad, and Eben has to arrest him.
I gotta say, waitress is kind of shitty. It's like you can either have cooked or frozen. It's like, can't you just fucking defrost it in
Can't
the
you?
microwave?
Yeah, just give it to him frozen and it'll melt. Like, I don't
I'm
know.
not one to invoke the customer's always right, but I mean, come on. There's a certain level of service of like, if a man wants raw hamburger, you just defrost that fucking hamburger and give it to him.
You are not supposed to eat raw hamburger, though.
You can though. My mom
No.
used to do it as a kid.
As long as you, well, no, you can
'Cause
eat
ground
raw
beef-
hamburger. It's literally
you-
like beef tartare is raw.
No,
beef.
you can eat raw beef. You should not eat raw ground beef.
Yeah, beef tartare is ground beef.
Yeah, but they ground it like there. It's different. It's higher
The
quality.
difference is if you grind it up and it sits, then the air and the bacteria get into it, and then that's why it's bad for you.
Well, actually, it's like if you, yeah, it's the surface that gets the bacteria. So like if you have a steak and you sear it on all sides, like it's not the same as if you have like a raw hamburger, but like when you grind it, the surface gets integrated into it. So as long as the surface isn't bacteria ridden when you grind it, then your hamburger's fine.
I also, in hamburger conversation aside, I also want to say I do like how it's set up that this stranger like might be a vampire, and I do like how the movie doesn't really tell you what's going on until you actually see a vampire. Like you're just kind of like, what the fuck? But this guy, like, you think he's a vampire, right? Like you're like, okay, he wants raw meat. He's scary and weird, and like there's fucky things happening in the town. So like this guy must be the perpetrator, and like to a point, that's correct. Like he did cut off the communication and do like I think a couple things, but he didn't like, and he shuts off the power. Spoiler. But he didn't like kill the dogs. He didn't do the helicopter, and then you find out later
They're
that
eating the dogs.
he's just like a
eat the dogs.
fangirl. He's a groupie of
Well,
the
yeah,
vampires.
he's a familiar.
Yeah.
Like which is weird to use like a familiar as like a trope in this movie when they just ignore most other vampire tropes.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
What were
did
the
they ever answer the
vampires-
question of where they came from, like and how they got there? Because when they're talking
really.
about the stranger, they're like, well, he didn't fly in, like people would have seen him. He didn't drive in because there's no way to do that. So where did he come from? And then it's just left open-ended, and I don't think it ever answers where the vampires came from either. Did they swim over from Russia?
They
Well,
said
that's what
something.
I was kind of wondering why they're even there in the first place, because my initial thought was, oh, they like that there's 30 days with no sunlight, that they can just be out for 30 days out of the year.
Well, that's what
That's
they said.
Well, that's a good gig for them, but then they're like, at the end, they're like, we gotta burn the town down so there's no evidence. I thought that they were just gonna like take over the town and like, that's theirs now, and they want to live there.
I think that like they do say that they found out about these towns in northern Alaska that get this like I don't know exactly what the explanation was, but the main vampire says something like that. Like they figured that out, or the stranger guy says it. I don't know. But the waitress or something, I think she says something like, I don't know. I don't know exactly. I guess it's not fully explained, but I don't know.
Like, are they there just to eat people and then leave?
Well, the waitress says something like, or Stella, I don't know who it was, but they're like, well, next year this is going to happen to the town next to us, and then the town next to us. So I think they're just burning it down for no evidence, and then they'll probably go back to Dracula's castle and hang out, and then come back. I don't know.
They go to Pennsylvania or wherever vampires are from.
Go to Hershey Park.
Yeah, so eventually the vampires just start ravishing the town, and they're like killing everyone. Eben and Stella and a couple other people hide in an attic, and I guess they have enough food to live there for 30 days. I don't know why there's 30 days worth of food in an attic.
No, they don't. So what happens first is like, so Eben is the sheriff or the main cop, and Stella is also like, she's a fire marshal or something. And then like Eben's grandmother and his brother also work at the police station, and they have the stranger there, and then they realize all the power's out, so they all meet at the diner with a bunch of different people. And then that's when people start really getting killed. So then that's when they're like, oh, there's a boarded up attic in this guy's house and they're dead, so we can go there. And they have food for a little while, but I think it's like almost halfway through, they're like, we need to make it to this other place that'll be more secure that we can wait out the rest of the time. But first we have to go to like the store and get food. because that they have to leave the attic at one point to go get more food. I remember that scene because that's when they find the little girl vampire.
Yeah, it's
Right.
weird that they it has this huge passage of time of a month, but it doesn't feel like it's really shown, other than it just announces like it's 7 days later.
Yeah.
And then everyone looks exactly the same and seems to be in exactly the same situation.
Josh
as, like,
Hartnett
minute
grew a
ago.
beard.
I like that they go from like one scene, it's like 7 days later, and then it's like 30 or like 27 days later, and you're like, whoa. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes from like 7 to 17 to like day 29, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, it
All
seems
right.
like there's a missed opportunity with the production design on this of just like showing them lived in, in whatever situation they're in, or like having some kind of system to keep watch or something. They're just like, no, and then more time passes and they're still in the exact same situation. So, yeah. Anyways,
the a part of this movie that I thought was interesting was the character who has dementia and his son. So there's a guy who takes care of his dad who has dementia, and the guy just doesn't want to be there, obviously, because he doesn't know what's happening. And so he tries to leave, and his son has to go out in a blizzard to go get him. And it just made me think, like, yeah, in any like horrible, like, let's say like a natural disaster or like an apocalyptic scenario, there's going to be people who have to like take care of their sick loved ones. How do you do that? Do you just die? You just die. You know what I'm saying?
sorry, I zoned out. I was reading trivia about the
Oh
movie.
my gosh.
Wait, who dies? I guess
So
I zoned
if
that
you have to
too.
take care of your sick grandma during an apocalypse, you're toast.
Yeah, I mean,
Or at least
she's
that's
toast
what
to me.
happens. Like,
To me, I was like, I love my mom, but if she was like in the end stages of senility, I'd be like, this is kind of a good opportunity to just kind of let her roam free and let that get taken care of. It's either A, she gets to live eternally as a vampire, or she just, we end the nightmare early. I don't know. That's just me.
They do have a point where the vampires are like kikiing and they're like, we can't turn everyone, like we can't turn anyone. We're just here to eat people for 30 days and we're going to wipe out the whole town. They do turn one person, two people into a
Kind of seems like on
vampires.
accident, though. Like
Yeah.
they
Because you get
don't kill 'em all the
bitten.
way.
If you just get bitten and you like get away, you turn into a vampire. There are like no rules with these vampires. Like they do not follow any sort of vampire logic besides the sun kills them, but also lights kill them. Like, so that's why they cut the power, which I thought was really interesting because most vampire
well, specifically
stuff,
UV lights.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
It was-
that
yeah.
okay, that makes sense. That makes
Because
sense.
those were grow lights.
Right, I forgot about that. But
Which seems like that was. Why didn't they reuse that? If you're like,
It works pretty well.
it
why
did.
wouldn't you put the generator inside where they can't get to it and just surround the house in UV lights,
Yeah, that would have been smart.
What's
But-
up with vampires never using napkins?
They love it. They love
They
being
just
dirty.
love to have blood running all the way down.
It makes it scarier. So spooky.
They're like, what do you call it? Like carrion birds. They're like vultures. The sun bakes off the blood from their head and it just falls off naturally.
See,
That's why so many of them are bald.
bald. For me, it's like if I'm eating ribs or if I'm eating like wings, I'm like, it's so good, but I can't eat it fast because I don't want to get messy, and so I'm
Gotta
being
get
very
those wet
delicate.
wipes.
And then I'm using my little wet wipes.
Oh, spoken like a true twink.
Oh yeah, it's funny. Like I just finished the interview with the vampire TV show. And so watching that, which is like the horniest fucking vampire show I've ever seen, vampire
And the
movie or show,
gayest.
and the
Holy
gayest,
shit.
the horniest. It is like, and like every time they suck anyone's blood, it's like, I mean, the movie is pretty much like this too, but it's like such a sexual act. Like everything is so very sexual in this, and then to go from that and like
wet. I don't like that it looks wet
it's
inside.
definitely wet. Yeah, it's like yeah, okay. Jesus Christ, I've heard that 100 times today. But like going from watching that and then seeing this movie, it's just like, oh my God, like these are just monsters, and you're like actually like if I watched this and only this and never saw any other vampire things, I would not want to be a vampire. But I still do want to be a vampire. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that's a good question. If you were to be a vampire, what would be the ultimate vampire to be? Like, what movie's vampire is the best one?
That's a good question. Max, what do you think?
Probably Twilight.
Because they don't die in the sun. Is that why?
They don't die in the sun. They're super fast. They're hot.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I don't know. I like Anne Rice's vampires. I do like those. I also, honestly, What We Do in the Shadows, because they have it's like so. It's like, you know, sarcastic and ironic and satirical and all that stuff. So they have every trope of every single vampire movie and show and book ever made. So like everything is just in that. So like and like there's an episode of the show where they like go out to clubs and they'll like drink blood of people who are like on Molly, and then they're like on Molly, and I think that's really fun. So probably either that or Interview with the Vampire.
I think Interview with the Vampire, they even have vampires that can walk in the sun if you're old enough. Like,
yeah, like Armand in the show, he's like 8 million. So they're like, yeah, it's not as bad for him anymore.
Yeah, I think I'd always just default to like Dracula. It's like, I want to be the sexy vampire that shapeshifts, you know?
Yeah, but you have to have your ancestral dirt with you at all times or you'll die.
That's fine. Who the fuck cares?
That's a crazy rule.
You got like a harem of hot women, you know, hot women vampires that you got caged up. Like, seems pretty good. Seems like a pretty good deal.
I've actually never seen Dracula, so I don't know all the lore behind Dracula specifically.
The Bram Stoker movie is awesome. I really like it. People don't like it, but I think it's awesome.
It's been forever since I've seen it. I got to rewatch it again.
Francis Ford Coppola, baby.
So they like you said, they have to go to the store to get more food, and it's a whiteout, so like a blizzard. And when they get there, there's this little girl vampire. Kind of reminded me of Abigail.
The teeth.
Yeah, but she's like eating a person and then turns and attacks them. And Eben's younger brother, who's like 15, has to kill her, which is pretty brutal. But also, Eben's brother is such a little baby the entire movie. The whole time he's just like, Eben, I'm scared. Where's grandma? So annoying.
I mean, wouldn't you be scared?
No, I would be a man.
He's 15.
And I would chop that little girl up with that axe.
He did?
He did, but he cried about it. I wouldn't cry.
Well, he manned up by the end. He understood the circumstances. Like, it was a lot of growth from him. I do like how, like, the characters actually have, like the humans, like, they have characterization in this movie. I don't think that it's, like what I thought in the Speak No Evil, like, I didn't care about the characterization of them, but I cared, like, in this movie. I think it was done well. Like, they gave them short little backstories, short little situations for every character, for the most part, and, like, they all came to fruition, and I enjoyed that. I think that's why I think this movie is really good. And with the main couple, Stella and Eben, like, he wanted to have a kid and she didn't. she kind of ends up having a kid in the end. She saves that little girl. Like, she really puts her life on the line to save that little girl. And then he puts his life on the line, literally, to save her, both of them. And it works. And so then she has her kid, basically.
Well, there's a really good line where Stella says something like, watching those people, I don't remember who she was talking about, but she said something like, watching those people fight for each other, it just reminded me of like how we used to fight for each other. And I wonder if we could still do that. And then in the end, he like sacrifices himself for her. I think that line kind of ties in with the way it ends.
Yeah, and I think like the whole movie, he very clearly loves her and wants to be with her, and that it's really sad because she's kind of the one that's giving pushback, but like for a good reason. I mean, we don't know exactly how their fights looked and stuff like that, but like she didn't want what he wanted, and it might not end up being like they might not end up being together forever. So like I don't know. I think
spoilers, they're not.
Yeah,
being together forever.
Midnight Mass happens at the end.
Bryce, are you still looking at trivia?
Yes, I am.
Stop looking at the trivia. Every time you look at the trivia, you zone out for like 30 minutes.
I know.
Well, you kids got this. No, I was finding. Oh, where's the one that
It was shot in New Zealand. Okay, hello. It was shot in New Zealand. I know that.
Is New Zealand cold?
Am I gonna come back?
God, I gotta get you guys new webcams.
Maybe that's the problem.
There we go.
No,
That's
it's
fine.
not. It's not focused. There you go.
There we go. Okay.
All right. So
Moving on.
They also kill the familiar, which I really liked that scene because he's so excited to be a vampire. He wants to be a vampire so bad. He thinks they're so cool. He's like, I'll do anything. I'll play the drop.
I'll suck your dick.
They're eating the dogs.
Okay, not that drop.
The suck your dick
But
one.
he's like, they're eating the dogs. And then
Fucking dick, I will do it. This is my team.
just let me join your team.
You can fuck me or get fucked by me. You can watch me fuck something. Just point something in the room and I'll fuck it for you. Come on, just tell me what you want me to fuck. Jesus
And then-
Christ, MacGruber.
And then they're like, we're not that kind of vampire. Whoa. This isn't the what was the other movie we were talking about with the sexy vampires? This isn't
Twilight.
forget it.
Interview Dracula.
This is an Interview with a Vampire. So yeah, they kill him and they say the things that they believe, which I thought was a good line.
I think that
I think we mentioned it, but like they actually, I happen to have the trivia open. All of the language was made up for the movie. It was like
What?
completely new language. So
I think that's
that was
cool, but it also sounds like the Dothraki in Game of Thrones, or like the Unsullied. Like it's like I don't know. I can't do it, but it's. It's just,
this is another bit of trivia. The sounds of the vampires were created through a mix of the screams of the actors with recordings of local death metal singers and various marsupials.
that's
Various
pretty cool.
marsupials.
Yeah,
I thought,
What is a marsupial?
it's like a monkey, like a little tiny monkey. I think.
Baby monkeys.
Did you know that monkeys in I think India will steal babies?
Good.
They take them up to like tall trees and
They're
drop them
eating
off.
the dogs.
That's crazy.
They're stealing the
That's fucked
babies.
They'll do it to the small dogs too. They'll pick up people's small pets and take them to high trees and drop them.
Why am
Really?
I unfocused
Marsupials, man.
again?
So, we're kind of getting to the end here, but so they go to the power plant place.
What is it called? The Utilitron or something? Utilidor? It was.
Yeah.
I was like, that
Utilidor.
it sounds like we're in fucking
Yeah, they keep
Avatar.
mentioning it. I'm like, are we supposed to know what that is?
We have to
On
get to
the-
the Utilidor.
On the Wikipedia, it said Utilidor and then in parentheses, utility corridor.
What the fuck?
Okay, what the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's where the utilities are, I guess. It's the corridor with the utilities.
What is a
Okay.
utilidor?
So they're at the utilidor.
A utilidor is a conduit that carries multiple utility systems such as water, electricity, and more. Can be found above or underground. The word utilidor.
But they're talking about a building, though.
Utilidors are often used in Arctic climates and communities to carry utility systems like water, electricity, and heating. They are insulated conduits that are built above ground. The Disney's Magic Kingdom has them.
Oh, okay.
Has a utilidor. Ooh. Before we get to the utilidor, I do need to mention that the deputy. So they find the deputy hiding in a house across the street, and he
Underneath the
may
house.
have. No. This is the guy who shot his family.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. That was like crazy. I was like, whoa. And you know,
Yeah, when you like shoot your family and then your gun doesn't go off, why wouldn't you just walk out and sacrifice yourself to the
I
vampires
thought the
at that
same
point?
exact thing. I was like, wouldn't you just want to die? Like, he's fucked up. He's fucked up.
It reminds me of the end of, is it The Mist?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where his gun jams. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you think about that, Family Man Bryce? What do you think about shooting your family so that they don't have to get eaten alive?
I think I'd probably wait till the vampires are upon us, like
that's
beat
smart,
down the door or
actually.
something.
Or like try to find other people who might be hiding out because that's what was happening this whole time.
Right.
So like he shoots his whole family and they end up sacrificing him at one point. Like they try to like have him be a part of the team, but like Josh Hartnett's kind of like, this guy fucking sucks. So like he dies, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, he dies at the
Have you-
utilidor.
Have you guys watched Horizon?
No.
Yeah, Max definitely wouldn't watch it. It's like 3 hours long. It's only part
True.
1. But yeah, that's like, there's historical precedents for murdering your family if like a band of, bad people.
Oh, the one that just came out, the Kevin Costner movie?
Yeah.
Oh, the second one just got released.
It did?
Yeah,
What?
September 7th.
No way.
Yeah.
Does he kill his family in that?
In theaters?
I
Did
don't
they
know. It
release
just
in theaters?
says initial release September 7th. I don't know. But yeah,
Oh, no.
I've been
It's-
meaning to watch.
No, the first part was released on HBO. The second part hasn't, because the second part was supposed to be released in August and it didn't.
Oh,
I don't know. Was it?
it says initial release September 7th. But I do want to watch it. I do want to see the first one.
You guys keep talking about this movie. My baby is freaking out. I need to go help my wife.
Okay. Home market. Chapter 2. Did it?
It says it's not in theaters, but it probably got released at some how they do movies.
What article are you looking at?
I just looked at Google. I just Googled Horizon movie. And it said Horizon American Saga Chapter 2, initial release September 7th. But maybe that's wrong.
Initial release September 7th.
Yeah, at Venice Film Festival 5 days ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God!
It's a baby.
Oh, she's so cute, Max.
Sweetie pie.
Hi,
She was
babies.
so upset.
And
the doggy. We got
Yeah, the
everyone.
whole gang's here. All right, what part are we at?
We were just talking about Horizon.
Oh.
Let's just finish it up.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Stella is trapped, and the vampires are gonna burn down the whole town, and everything's on fire. And Eben decides he's going to inject himself with vampire blood,
Which is crazy.
which I feel like would just hurt really bad and give you AIDS. But
Jesus Christ.
Vampire AIDS.
vampire AIDS, Vades. but it turns him into a vampire, luckily, because if it didn't, it probably would have just killed him.
Yeah.
And he has a showdown with the main vampire, which I don't know why they had to do mano a mano. If they all just rushed him, he would have died pretty quickly. But
Yeah.
He
kills
gets
him.
pummeled at first, though. He gets fucking tossed, and I'm like, oh no. And then he punches through his head. So,
yeah, just with one punch kills him.
it was great.
And that's and then midnight mass happens, and the sun comes up, and they
See, I
share
don't
a kiss,
understand
and he
when
dies.
like he had to go rescue her because she was under the car and they're gonna freeze to death, and then they set the oil on fire and they're like, oh no, she's either gonna freeze to death or burn up. I'm like,
No, they say either if she comes out, the vampires are going to get her, or she's going to burn because she's underneath a car, and cars are obviously flammable. So they had no choice, Josh Hartnett thought he had no choice but to become a vampire. But you know what? He didn't have to die. He could have hid out, lived his life as a vampire,
yeah,
eating
Eating
animals.
chickens, man.
Yeah.
You're already doing that. Just eat them while they're alive now.
Yeah.
right.
That's
Yeah.
what Louis de Pontelac does.
He's eating the dogs.
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I love that quote because he sounds like he's shocked as he's making it up. Like he's
I
like,
know.
they're eating the pets.
Did you hear? I've since heard the supposed basis on that. Like there is a body cam video of a woman that's caught eating a cat. She killed a cat and ate it, but it's just some crazy African American woman in Ohio, not even Springfield, just somewhere in Ohio that happened, which is granted wild, but it has nothing to
crazy.
do with illegal immigrants. Just actually the Americans are the ones.
They're eating the dogs.
So Haitians might not want to be here, once they find out we're eating their dogs.
Max, your baby
Wow.
looks so excited to be on the pod. She's
she's
so
having a
curious
great old
right
time.
now. She's so cute.
All right, who would you recommend this movie to?
If you like vampire monster movies,
Yeah, if you like zombie
fuck
movies,
it.
do it.
It's good.
Yeah, it's all right.
This is good.
It's a pretty good
All
movie.
Who's ready to play Name That Vampire?
I am. So what are the rules? Are we going to say our name or are we just going to yell it out?
What works better for you guys? What do you think?
Care.
Let's just say ding.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Let
Hold
me
up.
make you big, Max. Let me make you big.
Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. First one to say ding will get to answer first. If they are wrong, the second person can answer. If you are both wrong, I get a point.
Okay.
Okay.
Who is this? Or what is it from?
Ding.
Sydney?
The Little Vampire.
That is correct. This
love
is
th-
The Little Vampires.
I watched this all the time as a kid, constantly. I love this movie.
Bryce, that's not a good start for you.
Yeah.
All right. What is this from?
Ding.
Okay, Sydney.
It's not. Is it True Blood?
It's not True Blood.
Okay.
Bryce?
It's from. I don't know. I don't know enough vampire movies.
Yeah, I don't know this one.
Also think of TV shows. That's a hint.
This is definitely a
Is
TV
it
show.
from Supernatural?
It is from Supernatural. Bryce gets a point. I kind of helped you on that one, but that's okay. 1 and 1. What is this from?
Ding.
Ding.
Sydney?
Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries.
I never watched it.
I didn't actually know it. I would have gotten it. I wouldn't have gotten it.
All right, it's 2 and 1. What is this from?
Ding.
Bryce.
This is from The Demeter movie.
It is. This is from the last voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's Dracula.
2 and 2.
I think they're loading faster for Bryce.
They're not. There's a ton of lag.
All right, what is this from?
Ding.
Ding.
Ooh, that was a tie. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
I think we should go alphabetical order.
Hey.
No, rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, hold on.
Ready?
How can we do this? All right, let's type in. Oh, no. Can't do that.
No.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Rock,
Rock,
paper,
scissors,
shoot.
shoot. Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Shit.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Shit. I can't tell if that was even.
It was. I won. This
All
is
right.
from Midnight Mass.
This is from Midnight Mass. Sydney gets the point. 3 against 2.
Bunch of bullshit, if you ask me.
No, it wasn't. You went so slow.
What's this from?
Ding.
Ding.
I heard Sydney first.
This is Marceline from Adventure Time.
This is Marceline, the Vampire Queen from Adventure Time. Man, 4 to 2, Bryce.
I told you. I told
right.
you I'm good at vampire.
It's this fucking lag. I can't. It doesn't come up on the screen.
Hey, don't blame the game. All right. What is this from?
Ding.
Ding.
I heard Bryce first.
That's the count from Sesame Street.
That's the count from Sesame Street. 4 to 3. Ho, 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 ho. What are these guys from?
Ding.
I
Bryce.
didn't even see it yet.
This looks like a Tim Burton thing, but I don't know what it would be from. Maybe Frankenweenie or something?
This is not Frankenweenie.
I don't know.
This is Nightmare Before Christmas.
This is Nightmare Before Christmas, Sydney.
What scene is that from?
It's a fucking Halloween town. They just be doing shit. I don't know.
This is the Making Christmas song.
Yeah.
Making Christmas. They're wrapping a present, Bryce.
Okay, fine. I was close. I said
All right.
Tim Burton, even though I didn't direct it.
5 to 3. What is this from?
Ding.
Bryce.
Twilight.
Twilight.
I thought you weren't going to get that. I was like, you better.
That was close.
You better.
5 to 4. I don't know if I have any more. I can't remember. What is this from?
Ding.
Ding.
Oh, whoa. You both knew this? It was a tie. Rock, paper, scissors.
How is that?
I thought I said it first.
I'm pretty sure I said it first because I said it before I even saw it.
Max, executive decision. I'm not doing back paper,
I heard
scissors.
you at the same time, so rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, Bryce.
All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
All right, I win.
Yeah,
This is from
What is it from, Bryce?
Gargoyles.
No, it's not from Gargoyle.
This is from Scooby-Doo.
This is from Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire.
Come the fuck on.
Oh, okay.
6
Guess I don't know my vampires.
6 to 3?
4.
Is that what it is?
I don't think
6
I
to
can
4.
pull it out after
6 to 4. Who's this from?
Ding.
Ding.
What is this
Fuck.
from?
I was
Sydney.
drinking. That wasn't fair.
Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania, 7 to 4. What is it? Oh, that's the last one. Sydney wins.
Yay! Bryce, you stink.
You know
Sorry.
what? Fuck you.
We've been saying
I
fuck
love
you a
this
lot
game.
to each other. Lately.
I'm doing a version of this game for every episode I do for the rest of the year.
I honestly really like it, so keep doing it. I like competition.
All right, I'm starting to
Okay.
lose her.
All right.
If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend. The number to call is 682-253-4468. We just went through our voicemails, so there's a lot to... Hey, little... Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, cry into the microphone. Oh, she's so close to crying.
Say dad. Dad. Say Bryce Hanson. All right. Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Is that a raincoat?
That's how I feel right now, too.
It's like a skull in a scraggly wood.
He had no face!
Horror.
Wow, that didn't sound good.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.